Hi everyone, this is Deb Tim, a Canadian girl, and welcome back to my profile series. Today we are on episode 25 and we are going to look at the Chinese algae eater, so please stay tuned. The Chinese algae eater has a long list of names. The sucking loach, sucking catfish, golden catfish, honeysucker, and golden algae eater are but a few. This algae eater belongs to the saprinid genus commonly known as carps. They're very popular in the hobby, first being introduced in Germany back in 1956. These fish are listed on the red list as LC, which stands for Least Concern. They are indigenous to Thailand, throughout Eastern Asia, China, and Vietnam. They can be found in a variety of waterways, from lakes and rivers to flooded fields. Depending on the season, they will migrate to deeper waters. The Chinese algae eater has a long, slender body. Their mouths on their underside of their heads are disc-shaped, perfectly formed for sucking or attaching themselves to surfaces to gain a good grip in fast-moving water. They do not have barbels as many sucker fish do. They have tubercles called thorns around their mouths, more pronounced on males, especially at breeding times. They have a long black stripe running down the entire length of their body. The upper portion is usually more of a brown color, and below the black stripe tends to be lighter yellowish. But these colors do vary. There are albino and marble morphs as well. Their lifespan can be anywhere from 5 to 10 years, depending on their care. Most often when first purchased, they are between 1 and 2 inches, and very effective little algae eaters, being an asset to your aquarium. Unfortunately, that does change as they mature. Their dietary preferences change, and they lose their interest in algae, looking more towards the easier food supplied by their keepers. They are happy to eat meatier foods like shrimp and bloodworms. These algae eaters will also attach themselves to your other aquarium fish and join the slime coat that protects them. They will outgrow their usefulness in time. In the wild, they've been known to reach 11 inches. However, in a home aquarium setting, 5 to 6 inches is pretty much the biggest they will get. As juveniles, they work hard in keeping your aquarium clear of algae buildup on glass, plants, substrate, and any other decorations you have. In time, as they mature, their behaviors change. They will become more aggressive, even to the point of claiming and defending a territory. Aggression increases toward the other fish, especially those resembling themselves. A group of them will help alleviate this aggression. Minimum tank size suggested for the adult Chinese algae eater is 55 gallons. A larger aquarium would be necessary if homing a group. Tank mates are another concern. They should be homed with fish that prefer the mid and upper range in the water column. It's also important to introduce the Chinese algae eater very last into an aquarium, as they will try to take the tank over. As juveniles and pre-adults, they do like to hide among wood, rocks, and plants. They're very inquisitive and love to explore caves and crevices. Their preferred substrate is sand mixed with gravel. Rocks, driftwood, and tree roots as cover will make them feel right at home. Because they are most often found in flowing waters, it's also important to supply a good water flow or agitation, as they do require highly oxygenated water. The Chinese algae eater is a relatively hardy fish and easy to keep as juveniles, but because of their aggressive tendencies as they mature, they're not considered a good beginner fish. They can cause much stress within an aquarium, as they do not play well with others. They need a well-maintained tank, clean substrate, and regular water changes to flourish. As juveniles, their dietary requirements are relatively simple, as they're quite satisfied foraging for food. As they mature, they will require supplements, algae wafers, fresh veggies such as lettuce and spinach, but eventually their desire will switch to more meatier foods. Live or fresh foods can be given occasionally, but limiting their feeding is the best way to keep them eating algae. As far as breeding goes, there's just not much information on that at all. They are not commonly bred commercially. At the present, any breeding that has occurred in an aquarium has been accidental. My Chinese algae eater is an adult, measuring almost 7 inches. He is never hiding. His favorite place in the tank is on the driftwood, which I believe he has claimed. He is an active eater, eating anything I feed the other fish, from flakes and pellets to frozen fresh foods. I don't see any problem with aggression so far. I do find him entertaining to watch, and he is not a poop machine like my pleco. So for now, I'm truly enjoying him. If you decide on an algae eater, just remember, as their size changes, so will their needs and their demands. So until next time, this is Deb Tim signing out. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful week. I hope your weekend was excellent as well, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.